Scorpion, Issue 2. Even bullets can't stop these creatures. How will I save Ruby? How? Syrianus. Actors come here to brag about their latest artistic landmarks, while their agents try not to look bored. But in the midst of this superficial din, we find one couple not engaged in theatrical conversation. Jules Reinhardt, the Chicago financier? Right. 5 days ago, after a mysterious phone call, Reinhardt ran off. According to Mrs. Reinhardt, he was scared silly, muttering something about black magic and voodoo. Interested? Not really. I've heard about this fellow. He's got a reputation for eccentricity. Probably staged the whole thing himself. I beg your pardon, Mr. Frost. There's a Mrs. Reinhardt on the phone for you. Speak of the devil. Moments later. Frankly, Mrs. Reinhardt, I don't think this commission is quite my cup of. No, I'm sure it's not just a publicity stunt, but the police are far better at anger, and in the twinkling of an eye, the debonair demeanor of Morrow Frost has vanished, replaced by the dynamic presence of a man called the Scorpion, ready to face a most unusual menace in this chic night spot. Like some silent demon of chaos, the lion charges, as a slim blade sprung from a wrist sheath appears in the Scorpion's hand. Thus, against his will, Morrow Frost is thrust into a nightmare of violence and death, known in his private files as the Devil Doll Commission. It is only his savage instincts that save Morrow Frost from an horrendous death. Yet, as the Scorpion plunges his dagger repeatedly into the animal's flesh, there is no roar of challenge, only the savage flailing of mighty claws until a vital spot is hit. Then an all too human scream is ripped from the beast's slavering jaws, and through some unearthly force the lion's prone form begins to change, until the twitching carcass at the Scorpion's feet has become a man. Morrow, what? Mrs. Reinhardt, are you still there? Be at my home around 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's right. Good night. The next evening. And so, Mr. Frost, at 5 in the morning he grabbed a briefcase stuffed with private documents and drove off. The last thing he said as he slammed the door was, "No voodoo witchcraft's gonna stop me," or something like that. I see. Now, about this phone call. You say you overheard some of it. What was said? Nothing I can remember, except you mentioned Max Cervantes. He's a gangster, isn't he? He was a gangster. Cervantes died in a plane wreck 8 years ago. Perhaps someone is posing as Cervantes. In any event, Mrs. Reinhardt, I'll look into it. Thank you so much, Mr. Frost. In the meantime, I'll take to the streets, talk to Cervantes' old gang members. After the woman is gone, Ruby, I want a complete rundown on Jules Reinhardt. Finances, family history, everything. I'll see what I can dig up. Nightfall. The city, so bright during the day, now takes on a look of threatening shadows, as the creatures of evening take to the deserted city streets. Through this crazy quilt of light and dark stalks the Scorpion. From underworld dives to the Park Avenue haunts of crime barons, the Scorpion follows a trail that points to one nagging conclusion, that Max Cervantes is alive. And after hours of detective work, the Scorpion finds his journey's end at the Skyline Room. A speakeasy, a relic of Prohibition, a place that was once owned by Max Cervantes. Outside, the air is alive with winter's chill. Within the Skyline Room, the atmosphere is warm. Warm and dense with the heavy smell of hashish and opium as New York's bored rich indulge themselves in the latest decadence. Keep 'em happy, Vince. If anyone wants me, I'll be in the office. Okay, Limey. Well, you've gone from bad liquor to bad dope, eh, Limey? The Scorpion. And it's where I can see them wailing. Hey, I'm clean, I swear it. You don't concern me, Limey. What I want is Cervantes. Now, you gotta be joking. You know as well as I do that Max died in 1930. I'm sorry, Limey, but my investigations have proven otherwise. Now, are you gonna talk? He's behind that panel, but it's locked from the inside. Behind a false wall, the scent of lilacs barely hides the stench of death. Max, he's croaked. But this man is Jules Reinhardt. That's what Max has called himself since 1930. He faked the crash. A doc in Chicago changed his face. And he ran out on his silent partner in bootlegging, Buddy Lyle. The band leader? Yeah, somehow Lyle caught on and made some noise. So Max grabbed his bank books and hid out here. And now, after all these years, he's had a heart attack. Well, well, I wouldn't be so sure. What else could it have been? There's not a mark on him. Anyway, nobody could get by me. Well, somebody did. This man's been murdered. Shortly thereafter, in the Scorpion's brownstone, Muchas gracias, Senor Ruiz. You've been a great help. Moro, listen, I discovered something fascinating. Jules Reinhardt has no history. Before 1930, how did you know? That was Diego Ruiz on the phone, president of Banco de Panama, Panama City. Those private documents of Reinhardt's, they were coded bank books for his Panamanian deposits. Reinhardt was murdered for those bank books by Cervantes, but the word is he's really alive. Not anymore, he isn't. Wait a minute. We've got to see Mrs. Reinhardt. I'll drive. You drive, I'll explain on the way. Meanwhile, the repeal of Prohibition wiped out many a fortune, and none were harder hit than those who owned the fashionable cabarets of Harlem. Through the doorway of one such forgotten speakeasy strides a tall, smartly dressed man. But he's in the back. You are right. We can't touch Max's dough without the wife's signature in person. I've spoken with the bank. And another thing, this fellow Ruiz has another guy called and wanted the same information not 10 minutes ago. That was the Scorpion, damn it. Can't take any chances with him in the picture. We'll just have to snatch the wife. Hell, even dead, Max is a pain. Come, Caesar. Speaking of pains, how about the hoodoo lady? Her moaning gets on my nerves. Her job's done. All right then, we'll pay her off tonight. And you can use your little cash box here. You see, Mrs. Reinhardt, the Panamanian banks have a system similar to that of the Swiss, and your late husband wrote a special clause for his foreign account, whereby funds could be withdrawn only on your signature, witnessed by the president of the bank. For that reason, Mrs. Reinhardt, your life is now in danger. Can you use a gun? Why, yes. Fine, take this. Miss Bishop will remain here. I've got a job to finish. At that moment, in the J.C. Keene Funeral Home where Max Cervantes, alias Jules Reinhardt, lies in repose. Shortly, I'll take it, Mrs. Reinhardt. Hello? What? The body disappeared? Like some angel of vengeance, the Scorpion travels through Manhattan's lofty spires, and at his destination. It's Curly. Seems Max's wife just strolled outside and they grabbed her. Terrific. Call Bert at the Skyport. Tell him we'll be there in half an hour. Mr. Lyle, job's done. I'd like my money now, please, Mr. Lyle. Yes. Take care of the lady, will you? And minutes later, the Scorpion arrives, missing his prey by moments. Suddenly, thinks he can kill old Rose. I had my insurance cases happened. 2 hexes. If one don't get 'em, mother will. Where did they go? Skyport. Don't worry, I took care. If one don't get 'em, other. choking cough, the old woman dies, and the scorpion retraces his route in an inimitable scorpion fashion. Manhattan's downtown skyboard, like the financial district it serves, by day the place bustles with life, handling seaplane traffic from Boston and Philadelphia, while by night it's silent as a tomb. This night, however, the silence is broken by the whine of a warming engine as, "How nice of you to walk right into our clutches, Mrs. Reinhardt, isn't it? Max always did have great taste in women. Enough, this has gone on far too long. I am not Mrs. Reinhardt. My name is Bishop. I've been stalling." "Tut tut, my dear. I believe you're stalling now." "Plane's ready, Mr. Lyle." "Come along, Miss Reinhardt." "I tell you, I'm not." "Eddie, bring her a boat." "The scorpion. Morrow." Ugh. "Down, lady." Unseen in the shadows by the pier, the pilot retrieves a fallen pistol. He draws a bead on the scorpion's back and, "Morrow," fires. Ah! "Not so fast, honey. I haven't waited these 8 years to lose everything on account of some wise-mouthed broad. Okay, Scorpion, freeze. You killed my pilot, so I need you alive. Now, whatever she's paying you, I'll double. After all, they say you're an unprincipled fella. You're greatly mistaken about my lack of principles. Any contract of mine is binding, and I don't deal with killers. Listen, friend. Caesar, forgotten in the fray, seems to shimmer in the murky shadows of the dock as, you've got no choice. Do it, or I'll blow her head off. Okay, okay. I've had it just about enough. Suddenly, a shift in the shadows catches the scorpion's eye, a shift accompanied by the smell of incense. Old Rosie's incense, and the shift becomes a shadow, a shape, a form. Oh, God! Caesar! No! An evasive movement comes. Too late. Then, it all worked out, but why the hell did you leave Mrs. Reinhardt? That'll hold. Well, right after you left, the funeral parlor called to say that Reinhardt's body had vanished. I thought it might have some... Good Lord, the second hex. Handle the police. I'll explain later. The scorpion moves with desperate swiftness towards the Reinhardt home, turning his mind from the pain of a wounded arm and praying he is not too late. Oh no, God, no! Again he senses it, the skin-prickling presence of some obscene force beyond human understanding. He is prepared, yet still he shudders at a face apparently sedate in dreamless sleep, a face beyond worldly caring, a face that is a masterpiece of the mortician's art, the face of Jules Reinhardt. A blow that has killed men now serves merely to destroy the stitches in Reinhardt's mouth, slackening his lips. So again he strikes, and again, each time succeeding only in removing more rouge and paint, until, absently, the dead man responds. It has been a long night, a hard night. The scorpion, his black eyes smoldering, breathes deeply, for at the moment he is filled with cold berserk fury. And he becomes judge, jury, and executioner. Epilogue. Everybody loves a disaster, as long as it's the other guy's problem. And when the other guy is rich, famous, or infamous, that's news. Thus, all I can say is, Mrs. Reinhardt has suffered a tremendous shock. She has my sympathies. Are you sympathetic enough to waive your fee? Altruism is for Albert Schweitzer. The Scorpion is not a charitable institution. Good night, gentlemen. The end.